following is a brief conversation with parents, teachers, and kids about growing up in a connected world.
Well, we really wanted to bring awareness to the online safety of kids being aware of what's going on the net. Being safe online is really a key thing in the schools today because a lot of kids do not know some of the safety issues that go on the internet.
This was kind of an impromptu challenge for the music department at my school and the music and drama students. Myself being a lover of poetry and hip-hop, we sat down and that's how we actually created the rap. The students came up with a list of words and topics, and I just basically guided those topics and those words into something that made sense and it would stay on topic as the online safety.
The tune was just so catchy and the kids in the audience were just so lively in their reaction to the song and dancing and singing along.
And I want kids to really take that home, not just singing a song, not just listening to a hook or a beat, but really paying attention to making sure your parents know what you're putting out there online.
Because of the topic and the relevance of cyber safety, I think it's going to catch on.
I think the most important thing here is really understanding the impact that the internet has on our children and the development of the children and the choices that they make.
Well, I think it's threefold. I think that they need to hear it from the parents, I think they need to hear it from the teachers, and I think they need to hear it from each other. Once we start opening their eyes to, some of the dangers of it and making sure that they know that we're not just, saying don't do it, but why you shouldn't do it.
My kids spend probably 2 to 3 hours online a day. I think I worry about more the transition that I've got to make with them and that they need to make into understanding what they can and can't do responsibly online. I want to make sure that, not that I'm in control, but that they're in control and ensure that they're making choices that are right for them and right for us.
Stop, Think, Connect really means stop for a minute before you go any further in your online activities. Think to yourself, is the person I'm talking to in this, chat box really who they say they are? Once you've kind of gone through that thought process, you can then connect with confidence knowing that you've taken a few minutes to say, this is actually what I want to do. I feel comfortable sharing what I'm about to share or doing what I'm about to do.
When I hear stop, think, and connect, is basically stop and realize what you are doing. Think about the consequences that can happen, and connect is connect smart. Use the right websites, and if you're not sure about the website, make sure that you ask your parents before you connect to it.
Don't go on websites that you don't know, or don't listen to pop-up ads.
We talk about safety, and the biggest thing that I use with Jeremiah as far as telling him about safety is the news. I use real life situations to show him the importance of knowing where these websites come from. You just can't go to Yahoo, search for something, click on what you see, and think that it's safe, because it's not.
It's like just being on the highway without a seatbelt. Anything can happen if you're not looking and you're not careful.
I only like to use sites that I've heard of before. I don't like to use sites that I've never heard of because I never know what can happen. My mom's had her credit card stolen like 3 times. Any kind of website that has a possibility of being hacked or doesn't have a good track record or anything like that, I don't trust at all.
With my oldest daughter, I've had to tell her with her email, you don't have to open everything. If it's coming from someone that you don't know, you can leave it closed. You don't even need to entertain it. If someone requests you as a friend and you've never met them a day in your life, you do not have to, accept their friendship.
We talk a lot about what sites not to go to and why she shouldn't go to those, and how downloading certain things can create an effect that we may not want, whether it's giving other people information about where we live or what we're doing or when we're out of town.
Well, I won't want anyone looking at my personal information that I wouldn't know, like some stranger that know all about me. That would be kind of weird.
Every week or so I get together with the kids. We sit down and we go through their iPods and their electronic devices together to look at their recent activity and make sure that they are keeping within the parameters and our rules and regulations in our own home.
The best advice I guess you could give at any situation is just to be aware of the things that your child is doing, and if you don't know, try to find out.
My kids are aware of cyberbullying, and I think that they've seen it go on with some of their friends, as a matter of fact. So I know it's going on no matter what location you are in the United States or in the world, it happens.
My biggest concern of my son being online is just him being swayed by people he doesn't know, or being a victim of cyberbullying, and just people out there just misusing the internet, you know, and taking advantage of younger kids.
Well, cyberbullying is when basically you get bullied over the internet, and like you won't, like most of the time people won't be able to find out who's doing it. And then it's really hard for you to tell like your parents or like your teachers or your principal.
It just goes back to something I learned very young, and I know is still being taught in classrooms and by parents, by community groups across the country, the golden rule, which is, you know, don't do something to others that you wouldn't want done to you. And unfortunately with the internet, things move at the speed of light. And so a comment that could be said on the internet at 12 by 12:01 has gone to the whole school. And that's something that can be really hurtful, and it can be really hurtful quickly.
I had a friend, and her son was being harassed on Facebook by some other boys, and it led up to a fight. It actually turned into the boys coming to jump the other boy. But luckily with Facebook, you're able to like keep stuff, and so they were able to use that to have the kids prosecuted.
Don't go online without permission. Don't look at bad stuff, and just don't be mean online, like cyberbullying. Make sure not to do that.
If someone is threatening you over the internet, that's not okay. You need to let someone know. And if you don't let your parents know, you can at least let a friend or the police know, because that's not okay.
Most of the time I try to teach them, you don't want to put anything online you're not willing to talk to somebody in person or with a group of people surrounding them that, you know, they're good friends. Nothing that would be embarrassing to the person they're talking to or embarrassing to themselves.
I only have a Facebook and a Twitter. I always make sure everything I have on there is something that I wouldn't mind my family seeing, because I'm friends with my family on Facebook. I'm applying for college this year. I have to make sure that everything online is clean. I have to make sure that any university who sees anything online, if they just Google me, you know?
One of the things that bothers me and that we've communicated to our children is that no matter what you put online, pictures, videos, it's there forever. And when you're applying for colleges or you're applying for jobs, that's a digital footprint that's just not going to go away.
Kids have the internet in the palm of their hand.
With that much access, you want to make sure that when your child is out of your sight, that they're being responsible with it and that they're doing the right thing with the internet.
I would rather have my son use a computer than a portable phone device, and he has with him all the time. And if he goes somewhere else, I couldn't monitor what he's doing on that phone. You know, whether it be watching YouTube or going on Facebook or anything like that.
Colleges and employers and everyone across the spectrum is using social media tools as ways to get to know someone before they meet them. Just stop the oversharing.
Yes, you have to be careful about the people that you add as a friend on Facebook. You have to be careful of who you speak to on Facebook. You have to be careful of the pictures that you put on there, your language, and just basically you have to be careful about everything that you do on Facebook, and especially who you talk to.
With my daughter, I tell her all the time, stop before you act. Think about the consequences, the future impact that your decisions now may have on you, and then connect to something that is appropriate, that is going to provide you some knowledge, some skill, or something that is going to add some positive aspect to your life, and not anything that's going to take away from your future opportunities or progress.
Always give the kids comfort in knowing that they can come and talk to you about anything that's not right, that's good, that's scary. Just give them the comfort to knowing that they can come to you and that you will take care and handle any issues that they are having.
I think I do know more than my children about the internet right now, but every day I feel like they're learning more and more, even more so than I know.
These are our babies, these are our children, and whether they succeed or fail is ultimately up to us.
So if you'd like more information about the National Cybersecurity Awareness Campaign, Stop, Think, Connect, or about efforts that the Department of Homeland Security is doing to help promote online safety practices, please go to www.dhs.gov/Stop, Think, Connect.